Hello guys, this is Tip the Tech Guy. What is the best transcoding hardware for a Plex media server? In this video, we will be looking at the best Intel has to offer by testing how many transcoding streams can be handled by the latest version of Intel QuickSync. By the end of our video, we should know just how many 4K Remax movies can be transcoded simultaneously by the Intel QuickSync technology on the UHD 770 graphics only available on the 12th generation and 13th generation Intel Alderlake CPUs. And for the sake of being realistic, we would also test how many 1080p times 265 HEVC videos can be transcoded simultaneously as well. Because why not? I'm already super excited for this. Let's get right to it. First things first, we need to know the specification of my Plex media server. For CPU, I'm running the 12th generation i9 12900K. For RAM, I have 32 gigs of DDR5 G-Scale memory. The speed, I'm going to put somewhere on the corner of the screen. For storage, all of my media is currently on an SSD, which is made available on the TransCoding operating system. So the server itself is running within a container, now not a Docker container. In TrueScale, we have something we call TrueChat, which is basically a container environment, and that is where my Plex media server is currently running. All the remaining details will be provided on the display here somewhere. I can't really tell where it will be, but you're going to see it. Now for our test, we will begin with the 4K Remax movies test. So let's go straight to the PC and let me show you how this test is going to be. This is the desktop we'll be using for our testing. On the right, we have here our Plex media server. In here, we have the library for our movies, our 4K movies. And then we have another library here for our 1080p movies. At the bottom, we have some statistics for our home server on which Plex is currently running. We can monitor the CPU usage on the server. We can also monitor the network traffic, what is going in and what is going out and how much. We can also see here how much disk is being used, because you have to remember, we are currently running the movies on a hard drive, an SSD, which is really good. But we would see here when the movies are being read off of that SSD. On the left, we have the dashboard for Plex. This is where we are going to be monitoring all of the cool stuff. Any movie we open on Plex on the web user interface is going to show up in real time on the dashboard. This would allow us to check if the movie is being transcoded, and if it is it using hardware transcoding or not, because we want it to be hardware transcoding. That is when it is actually using QuickSync, right? Now, this dashboard is also going to be cool because up here it will be counting the number of movies we have currently playing simultaneously. All right. It will also show us if the movies are buffering or not. Now, one of the cool things that would help us identify if our test is done is actually not the dashboard, but rather Chrome. So you see, there is something really cool about Chrome. I'll show you guys in a second. Let's start with our test. So the test is very simple. We're just going to open a series of movies, let them run, change the quality to 720p to force transcoding, and we're going to repeat that until Plex gives in, or until our QuickSync transcoder gives in. And how do we know if it gives in or not? That is where Chrome comes into the picture. So I'm going to show you in a second. Let's just start with our first movie, Spider-Man. So I'm going to click play right here. All right, perfect. So as you can see, it has started. It's showing in real time on our Plex dashboard. Direct play. Direct play means there is no transcoding going on. Everything is just playing directly. All right. Now you can see it is a 4K HDR10 movie. So it's a 4K Remax, and it's showing here in bracket HEVC main 10. That means it is using times 265 encoding. Mainly all Remax movies are like this. Okay. All right. Now, what I was talking about with Chrome, when you look up here on this tab, you would notice that it has an audio icon. Now, this audio icon is going to be awesome. We're going to be using this to monitor if our movies are playing or if Plex has given in. You see, the thing about Chrome is anytime a movie is playing or anytime a video is playing, it's going to show this icon here to indicate that everything is going fine. Immediately after the movie stops playing, it's going to just take that icon away. So when we have our movies in the tabs, we just pay attention to this icon, and immediately we identify an icon missing, we know that we've gotten to to the magic number, which is the maximum number of simultaneous transcoding that our QuickSync can handle. All right, so with that being said, let's quickly jump into this. Let's go back to Spider-Man. Let's change the quality to 720p, and then that is going to force a transcode. So whilst we are waiting for that, let me open the second movie as well. And then we're going to start playing the second movie as well. Start from beginning, and we would change the quality on that to 720p. Okay, now as you can see, the transcoding has begun. Something changed on our dashboard. It says transcode HW, transcode HW. HW means hardware. So our QuickSync technology is actually being used. And as you can see over here, it also shows H264. What that means is that our movie is being transcoded from H265 to H264 for better compatibility with different devices. All right, then let's move on to more movies. Let's add more movies here. You can see the icon. I'm super excited. Can't wait for us to be done with this so that we get to find out. All right, then let's change this, not automatically. Let's change to 720. Let's start from beginning. Change this to 720p as well. So we have 4 movies running currently. Let's move on to the next one. So another 2. And I'll start this as well. And then change the quality to 720p. And then do the same for this. You can see our CPU jumping up and down. That's because there's a lot of activity going on, right? But that does not mean our CPU is the one doing the transcoding. Okay, so how many do we have so far? We have 6 movies currently running. Let's add another 2. Let's add another 2. Let's do Batman Rises, Batman the Dark Knight Rises. And then let's do Harry Potter. Okay, so I'm going to start this one as well. And then change the quality to 720p. And then do the same for the Deathly Hallows. Harry Potter fan right here. And then change that to 720p as well. So if I am counting correctly, that's 8 movies. So we can really have 8 movies, all of them running. And you know they are running because Chrome is showing you the icon, right? Showing you the audio icon. So all of them are running. Let's check to see if all of them are being transcoded with hardware. So as you can see here, transcoded with hardware. Every one of them is transcoded with hardware. Perfect. That is amazing, right? So now we can jump to our next movie. So let's pick another movie. Let's pick Lord of the Rings, right? So I'll open Lord of the Rings right here. And let's just put it at the end. Okay. And we are looking at the audio icons. Now let's do start from the beginning. As you can see, it is playing just fine. Where is it? It's playing just fine. So we'll change the quality to 720p. And let's see if anything happens. So everything seems to be playing just fine. We have 9. Okay. Oops. Did you see what happened? It went to 8. One of the audio icons is gone, has disappeared. So let's see what happens. Conversion failed. The transcoder exited due to an error, right? So that is it. That is the end of our test. We know what the magic number is. So what this means is that Intel QuickSync on the 12th generation and 13th generation Alderlake CPUs is capable of handling 8 simultaneous 4K HDR10 movies, right? So as you can see, it is transcoding all of them. There are 8. And if we add any more, it's just going to cause one of the previous ones to stop transcoding. So I'm going to try another one again. Let's just try this one. Just to demonstrate. Okay, so you see it plays just fine without transcoding. It plays just fine right now because we are not transcoding anything. Do you see that? However, as soon as I try to transcode it, what happens? Does it keep it up? Come on, QuickSync, you can do this. Whoa. Oh no, it didn't. It went back to 8, right? It went back to 8. So another movie had to be stopped. The Avengers had to be stopped in order for the newer movie to keep playing in transcoding format. So this gives us a very decisive answer. Our Intel QuickSync can only handle 8 simultaneous streams using hardware transcoding. So that makes it really interesting. I'm very happy that we're able to find this. Now, by the way, I've run this test multiple times. So in case you're wondering, why did he open exactly 8 movies before he started building the suspense? It's because I've run this so many times in order to ensure that the number I'm getting is accurate. And every single one of those times, it has been 8 simultaneous streams. So there we have it. Let me quickly stop all of these so that we can move on to our second test. All right, now if you want to replicate this test, it's very important that you disable subtitles. It's also very important that the movies that you use, the container that you put your movies in, is not MP4, right? Use MKV because Plex doesn't like MP4 at all. So just keep that in mind. All right, so now with that being done, we can move on to our 1080p HEVC test. Now the 1080p test is what I call the more realistic test. Okay, we all love HDR, we all love 4K, we all love Remax. It's the best quality you could ever get for any movie. But there is a problem with 4K Remax movies. They are just too huge. Some of these files goes as high as 120 gigabytes per file. Gigabytes per file, which is really insane. If you know anything about building home servers, you would know that some of the expensive parts, one of the most expensive parts, is your storage. Hence, you want to use your storage efficiently. Now, if you have your home server built and you're putting in 120 gig files for each movie, that is not you using the storage efficiently, and that is why the second test makes the most sense. So the second test here uses 1080p HEVC movies. Basically, how we get this is we take a 4K Remax movie and we compress it because we want to use our storage efficiently. But when we are compressing it, there are 2 types of technology we can use to compress. There is one called x265 and there is another called x264. And I've already shown you earlier that when it comes to x265, Plex knows it as HEVC main, whilst for x264, Plex knows it as H264. Now, with that being made clear, the reason why this matters so much is that x265 is just a better technology. It would give you smaller file sizes with the highest possible quality. The only downside being not all devices support x265. Now, if you were paying very close attention to our dashboard, you would notice that when Plex is transcoding, it always transcodes to x264 because Plex knows this. It wants all devices to be able to play the movies, and that is why it always transcodes to the most popular encoding technology, right? So what is a more realistic thing for people to do is to have their server, buy the expensive storage, and then compress all their movies to x265. And then when they share these movies to their friends and family can transcode that x265 movie to x264. That way they are able to access it, and then you still get the benefit of smaller file sizes. I know that was quite a mouthful there, but I hope you get the idea. Now, enough with the talking, let's move on to the test. So in a very similar fashion, we're going to be doing the test same as we did before. So we're going to open the movies, but this time I'm going to be opening more movies than before, right? I'm just going to open large number, right? Spoiler alert, it is capable of handling a lot of movies, okay? A lot, believe me. Okay, so I think this looks like it is enough. Let's end on Toy Story. Okay, good. So we jump on to this one. So this is Black Adam. Let's start from beginning. Let's change the quality to 720p. So as you can see here, it is showing us direct play HEVC main. So this movie right here is a Blu-ray rip x265. That's what HEVC main means. Now once our transcoding starts, you see it has changed it to 264, meaning a device that does not support x265 can just watch this movie using transcode. And it's hardware transcode, implying that our QuickSync is an action. Okay, now let's quickly breeze through all of these. Okay, let's change the quality for this as well. 720. I need you guys to keep count for me, okay? Please keep count for me. All right. Let's change this to 720p as well. Why do I talk like that? That's so weird. As well. Trust me, I don't talk like that in person. For some reason, I just keep doing that. If you guys don't like it, let me know. I don't like the sound of it. I'm not sure, honestly. Let's move on to the next one. And then maybe it will be a quirkiness, I guess. Okay, there's a movie here that didn't start. Okay, it actually did start. It's just not showing the icon yet. Okay, it's finally showing the icon. Just needed me to call it out before it showed the icon. Okay, let's move on to the next one. And then, so we have 9 movies so far. Let's keep going. Okay. Let's do this. Isn't this awesome? Every single one of these movies is currently being transcoded. So if you've not realized it at this point, if you are going to be running a Plex server and all of your movies are going to be times 265 1080p, if I haven't convinced you already, hey, look, QuickSync is the only way to go right now. It just makes so much sense. It's more efficient. It's just better bang for your money. You buy a CPU, you don't have to even worry about getting a GPU because the GPU is right there in the CPU. And you don't even need a 12, you don't need an i9 or an i7 to get this type of performance. You can get this performance with an i5 because they all have the same GPU. They all have the same UHD 770 graphics. So we have 17 movies so far. Oh, I gotta move faster. Okay. All right. And whilst I am doing this, I might as well tell you guys to like the video and subscribe if you're enjoying the content so far. I'll be building a Plex media server from scratch. It's going to be my own personal NAS server, and it's going to be running my my Plex library. It's going to be awesome. All right, so stick around, like the video, subscribe, and then you wouldn't miss it. It's going to be amazing. All right then. So how many movies do we have so far? We have 24 movies, and every single one of them is being transcoded right now. That is amazing. What? None of them has stopped. None of them has stopped. As you can see, there is an audio icon all for every one of these tabs, implying that every one of these movies are currently playing. None of them are buffering. None of them are buffering. How many movies do we have so far? So everything is running awesome right here. So we have 27 movies are currently running right now, 1080p times 265. All right, that's amazing. Okay, now let's open some more movies. Let's get this 1, 2, 3. All right, so I'll open these 3 movies. Okay, so let's start with this one because we want a round number, right? We want a round number. 720. Start from beginning. Change this to 720 as well. And then our 30th movie. So this means if you have 30 friends, which is very hard to believe. No, I believe you. If you have 30 friends and family, each one of them could be watching a movie transcoded from your Plex media server, and everything would be handled by QuickSync. Just look at our CPU usage. We are barely using anything at all. One of the main reasons why we're probably having some usage is because we have network activity and we also have some disk read. But apart from that, our CPU is doing absolutely nothing at all. QuickSync is handling everything. We have 30 simultaneous streams currently running, and there is absolutely no buffering. None at all. Because the way I have my Plex server set up, as soon as the QuickSync technology is not able to transcode, it is just going to drop the video. It's just going to give in. Because I don't want the CPU to take over. I just want only QuickSync to handle the transcoding. So every one of these is playing And as you can see, there is no buffering at all for all 30 movies. All right, so let's move on to the next one. So let's go slow now. Let's do Madagascar. Okay, and we're going to play this and change the quality to 720p. Show all. All right, what we have here. So Madagascar is playing. Where is it? Oh, did you guys notice that? It went to 31 and back to 30. 31 and back to 30. Did you notice that one of our movies has been dropped? Inside Out has been dropped. So there we have it, guys. When it comes to 1080p times 265 movies, QuickSync can handle a maximum of 30 simultaneous streams on Plex media server. Wow, this is amazing. This is incredible. And hey, look, it's very important that I mention this. Your mileage might vary. The quality of the movies might vary every now and then. Not all 4K Remax movies are the same. Similarly, not all 1080p times 265 movies are the same. However, if you want to replicate this test, it's very, very important that you make sure that all of your movies are in the MKV container. It's also very important that you disable subtitles. Then you can try to replicate this. I have done this test multiple times and I got the same conclusion. For 1080p times 265, I was only able to transcode 30 movies at the same time, and for 4K Remax, I was only able to do 8 movies at the same time. If you got different results, I'll be very, very happy to see what your results were. Just add them in the comment section. I'm a very new channel. This is actually my second video. If I did a good job, please let me know. If I need to polish something or something I could have probably done better, please let me know as well. I really want to take this YouTube thing seriously. And hey, look, this has been an amazing experience. Thank you for joining me on this video. The name is Tip the Tech Guy. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.